Articles of Faith. Describe the 6 articles of faith in Islam, Imaan Mufassil. A Muslim is not a complete Muslim if there are weaknesses in his belief. We must believe in whatever the Prophet, PBUH, has asked us to believe in. As such, there are 6 articles of faith, and they are to believe in Allah, and His angels, and His books, and His messengers, and in the last day, and to believe in divine destiny, both good and evil. They are important in our lives. The first element is Tawhid, that is the oneness of Allah. It is the main principal ingredient of Islam. When we say that we believe in Allah, this means that we must accept His uniqueness in being, attributes, actions and worship. Allah is unique and no one is like unto Him. He is the creator and sustainer of all worlds. He is the master of the day of judgment and He will be our judge. He has no partner, and anyone associating anyone or anything to Him is an act of shirk, and it is an unforgivable sin unless the person repents sincerely. By believing in Allah, Muslims must have complete trust and hope in Allah. We must submit to His will and rely on His aid. The second article is to believe in angels who are obedient to Allah and act as His messengers. They are creatures made out of light and possess 2, 3, or 4 pairs of wings. Allah conveyed His revelations to the Prophet by the angel Jibril, Gabriel. They have no knowledge except what Allah has taught them. They are not endowed with free will and they act as per the will of Allah. They are invisible to ordinary mortals but have appeared in human form to Ibrahim foretelling the birth of a son, to Lot, warning him of impending doom, and to the Prophet as Dahyah Qalbiy, R.A. There are 4 archangels, namely Jibril who brought revelations, Israel who is the angel of death, Israfil who will blow the trumpet on Judgement Day, and Mikail who is responsible for nourishment of the body and soul. The third article is to believe in books, which are revealed scriptures sent as guidance from Allah to man. There are the Suhuf of Ibrahim, Zaboor of Dawood, Torah of Musah, Injeel of Isa, and the Quran of the Prophet, PBUH. The message is basically the same, that is unity of Allah and His attributes. It enlightens on the belief in the prophets of Allah, concept of rewards and punishments for actions on the day of judgment, and belief in the afterlife. The Quran is the only one that remains unchanged for over 1,400 years, and Allah Himself has promised to safeguard it from corruption and change. It is the last and most comprehensive book and a complete code of life sent by Allah. The fourth article is to believe in the messengers sent by Allah to guide mankind through the ages. Among them, the names of Adam, Ibrahim, Ismail, Ishaq, Yaqub, Ayub, Nuh, Swali, and many others can be cited. They were all mortal and had to taste death. However, we also believe that prophets like Idris and Isa will taste death one day. They conveyed His message in the language of the people they were sent to guide. Allah helped and strengthened them against unbelievers. Allah makes no distinction between His messengers. Among them, Prophet Muhammad was the last messenger and the seal of the prophets. He was sent for all humanity, just as the Quran is guidance for all mankind. The fifth article is to believe in Akhirah. Muslims must believe in the day of judgment and in accountability on that day. Everything will be clear and obvious on that day. There will be reward for good actions such as being in paradise, and there will be hell for bad actions. This life will be everlasting. Muslims believe that this life on earth is a preparation for the next. The sixth article of faith is to believe in Qadr. This means that Allah has already created what is best for mankind. He has given human beings freedom of choice and made them responsible for their actions. Following the orders of Allah and the footsteps of the Prophet will lead us to the path set by Allah. As such, one's Qadr or destiny will be rightly guided. Allah's knowledge is limitless, and as a result He exhorts us to think, plan and make sound judgments to avoid pitfalls and influence of shaitan. Ultimately it is Allah who determines all that happens, for He has complete authority over His creation. Discuss your understanding of any 2 of them. I elaborate on all of the 6, but if you go by the question you will choose only 2. Belief in the articles of faith has many implications. When we say that we must believe in Allah, this implies that we must accept His uniqueness without conditions. When Allah is said to be unique in being, this is to be understood that no one can be like Him in physical body, or mental or psychological capacity. We can't think Allah as a body or mass. He is a light. When we say that He is unique in attribute, this means that no one can possess any one of His characteristics, as we are the weak servants with lots of weaknesses. A single example of His ability to be eternal is enough to show our weaknesses. When we say that Allah is unique in actions, this means that as He is able to create anything out of nothing with the mere saying of be, and the thing is, we are not able to act as such. When we say that Allah is unique in worship, this means that worship, 5 daily prayers and ibadah, are only for Allah. We are the worshippers, and He is the object of worship. Belief in angels is to be understood that they are the creatures of Allah assigned for different tasks. They are not superior to Allah but are servants of Allah. It must be understood that they are created to praise Allah, to deliver wahy to messengers, to help the pious people, to say Amin on our du'a, to help in the creation and maintenance of the world, to help in the distribution of food and drink, to help mankind in this world and the next, and to be witnesses of our deeds. Belief in books is to be understood that they are the words of Allah. They are the sacred books, without any mistake, of the Creator of the worlds. These books are meant for our guidance and to avoid pitfalls. They are also used as tutorial on who Allah is and why were we sent on earth. They are reminders of the favors and warnings of the punishment of Allah. They are codes of conduct for the believers and means to attain piety and wisdom. They are instruments to tenderize the hearts and means to distinguish between halal and haram, or between the right and the wrong path. Belief in messengers is to be understood as the chosen people of Allah, the friends of Allah, the beloveds of Allah, and the vicegerents of Allah. They have been chosen not because of their deeds but because of the love of Allah for them. They have been sent to deliver the messages of Allah, to explain these messages, to purify the hearts of their followers, and to be our guides. They were the magnets of blessings from Allah and shields from punishment from Allah. They are a source of knowledge from Allah, and any concise and precise details on Allah could be obtained from them. They are not superior to Allah but superior to us. They are infallible people blessed by Allah with assurance of success in the next world. As their titles, messengers, suggest, they are people with messages from Allah and equipped with the ability to perform miracles. Belief in the Day of Judgment implies that we must have faith that one day we will be accountable for all our deeds and Allah will be our judge. It is also to be understood that fear of that day can bring a person to stop committing sins and lead to the right path, adhering to the Islamic law. It is also a means to have the shafa of the Prophet, the forgiveness of Allah, and the salvation through entering Jannah. It must be understood that it is a very difficult day for those who have not prepared themselves well, and for the unbelievers, and at the same time a pleasant day where the blessed friends of Allah will have the so long awaited moment of contemplating Allah. Belief in Qadr means to believe in what comes from Allah is always good. Whatever state we are in as a test from Allah must be accepted and taken as blessings from Allah. However, when an ill comes to us due to our disobedience and breaching of the law of Allah, then either it is a punishment from Allah or again a blessing, as it is a means of purification and salvation of our sins. When we have been given the choice to choose between the right and the wrong path, it is that Allah didn't want to impose on us, but He wanted to give us the time to come to Him, or rather to return to Him. At the end, Allah does not want us to suffer in Qabr or in Akhirah, but to have lives of pious and obedient servants. All good and bad are from Allah depends on the servant's deeds.